What's going on, everyone? My name's Mark, and this is Mako Reselling. I buy things at thrift stores, places like Goodwill, resell the items on eBay, and in today's video, I've got another what sold for you. I'll let you know what I paid, what it sold for, how long it took to sell. This is going to cover about the first week in December. I would say generally the first couple days, like Monday and Tuesday, were very slow in terms of sales for me. And just thinking about why that is. People are going back to work after the holiday. They've got work, they got to catch up on things. As the week progressed, more and more sales came in, and eventually getting to the weekend, sales just really, for the most part, have been exploding. There are a lot of low dollar sales in here, and then there's some good ones as well. So definitely a lot of useful information, but let's go ahead, let's dive right into this. Sold this Massif Elements men's fireproof or fire resistant camo vest, full price, $65. New in tags, definitely not an item I think you'll find out very often, especially new with tags, but I think the used ones do pretty good as well. This was a $6.99 buy cost, and this sold relatively quick. It sold in just about 2 months. Sold this Polo Ralph Lauren men's Western shirt. This sold for $45. I had it listed at $47 and took an offer. Usually when those offers come in and it's listed at like $47, the offer's for like $40. So I was pleasantly surprised when someone sent an offer for $45. Anyhow, this was a $5 buy cost. It took about 4 to 6 weeks to sell. It moved really quickly. Be on the lookout for these Polo Ralph Lauren Western shirts and really anything unique within Polo Ralph Lauren. They've done some different stuff in their time you wouldn't expect, and it usually sells very well. Awesome flip here, pair of Polo Ralph Lauren chino pants. I don't think you can tell in this video, but they are new with tags. The tags are on the back and on the inside. These sold full asking price, $50. They took about 6 weeks to sell and was a $5 buy cost. Probably someone picking these up for Christmas. Pretty good brand to be on the lookout here for. This is Muggsy. I always think of the basketball player Muggsy Bogues when I think of this brand. Anyhow, this sold for full asking price, $31. It was a $5 buy cost, and it sold in about 2 months. So definitely one to be on the lookout for. I'll just show the logo here real quick. And that's one that can fetch you a little bit of money, nothing crazy. Sold this Saddlebred new with tags blazer for $45. This was a $5.99 buy cost, and it took about a month to sell, so it sold pretty quickly. This is going international. Good item to find and sell this time of year. Sold these Brooks Brothers 100% wool pants. These are a grayish brown color. I really couldn't tell if they're gray or they're brown, so I just put grayish brown. Looks like a blend to me. Anyhow, these were $4.99. They sold for $26, and they took about 4 months to sell. I picked these up sometime in the summer. These wool pants from Brooks Brothers are selling great for me right now. Sold these Polo Ralph Lauren men's coral, light blue, green, bluish green chino pants. Not really sure on the color here. Definitely surprised at this one. It took about 6 to 7 months to sell. Sold for $23. And I'm pretty sure I got this at the Goodwill retail store. So it would have been about $5. Now looking at it, I think what really hurt this was the size on this one. It was like a 40-31, so definitely not a great size there. Anyhow, good to have this moved. I thought it would have sold sooner in the summertime and not the wintertime. Sold these Brooks Brothers men's tan 100% wool pants. Good size here, 34-30, and these sold pretty quick. They sold in just a couple weeks, a $5 buy cost. I've been selling a lot of these Brooks Brothers wool pants. Definitely the time of year to be selling them. Cool shirt here. Sold this Foundry Aztec print men's 3XL button down. This was $5 at Goodwill, and it sold for $24. Took a while to sell, took about 6 months, but it did sell for full price. Sold this wilderness belt. Could tell this was definitely high quality when I found it. And this sold for $20. Took an offer for $20. It was a $2 buy cost, and it sold pretty quick. It sold in just a couple weeks. Sold these Brooks Brothers men's gray 100% wool dress pants. Now, someone sent an offer for these. I had them listed at like 27, 28, and the offer was 23. I accepted. This was a $4.99 buy cost. These had been in the store a little while, probably about 4 months, so I wanted to get these sold and out. Sold these Brooks Brothers men's pants. These are dress pants, 100% wool, nice charcoal color here. And I've been selling these like crazy the last week. I think I sold 2 of these yesterday or something. So this sold for full asking price, $31. And just the range on these tends to be like 25 to 30 usually. This was a $4.99 buy cost, and it took about 6 weeks to sell. Sold this Brooks Brothers men's white pinpoint Oxford for $29. It was a $4.99 buy cost, and it sold super quick. It sold in just about a day or two, and it is the Milano fit. That's what the green tag is up there. It's like their slim fit line. And I'll say that these have consistently been a good seller for me, getting me anywhere from like $17 to $20 in profit each time I list them. Super easy to list. Super easy to ship and store. Keep an eye out for these. Sold this Callaway men's puffer full zip jacket here. This is a size large, and it sold for either $22 or $23. I can't remember. I had it listed at like 26. Now, I would think something like this would go for a little bit more, but when I did my research, when I looked up the other comps, it was going more in the mid-20s. So I decided to just list it at that. And this sold pretty quick. This sold in just about a month, maybe 6 weeks at the most. It was a $6.99 buy cost, which is about as much as I want to pay for a jacket like this. Sold this Columbia men's St. Louis Cardinals full zip fleece jacket. This sold for only $15. I did mark this down on my Black Friday sale. I think I marked this down like 50% or something. It was a $6.99 buy cost, so definitely barely any profit on this one. It did sell quick though. It sold in just about 3 to 4 weeks, if that. So I am glad to see this one out the door. It was one I should not have bought. Sold this Ann Taylor new with tags blazer. This sold for $37. I had it up at $42 and took an offer. It was a $5.99 buy cost, and it took about 2 months to sell. Sold this Topps Garbage Pail Kids Chrome Blaster Box. Now, this took a really long time to sell. This is actually a personal item. I had it listed last year for like $30, $32, and no bites. Eventually dropped the price to $25. Still no one would buy it. Got plenty of watchers on it. Eventually, someone came in and offered me $20. I accepted. So this did take a very long time to sell. Not something I typically sell, so I'm not too worried. About 13, 14 months to sell, somewhere around there. Sold this Brian Urlacher Youth NFL jersey. This sold for $18 on an offer. Sent an offer for $20. Someone countered at $18. A $5 buy cost, and this sold in about 2 months. These youth jerseys, they don't sell for a ton, but they always sell for me. Always make a little bit of money on these. Sold this Ralph Lauren men's silk wool blend houndstooth gray blazer sport coat here. This sold for $30. It sold in just about a month, a $5.99 buy cost. And I actually just listed one just like it today. It is gold and black. So hopefully that sells for around the same range. It was about the same buy cost as well. Sold this Brooks Brothers men's white pinpoint Oxford. This sold for $25. This is about the least. This is the least I would take. Maybe I would go like 23 or 24 if the item was sitting in the store for a while. But these typically go like high 20s, a lot of times 30s, low 30s for me. A $4.99 buy cost on this. And this took about 2 months to sell. Sold this new with tags Izod men's blue shirt. It sold for $22. Had it listed at 25. Sent an offer out to someone and they accepted. This was a $5 buy cost and it took about 2 months to sell. Sold this LL Bean women's top. This has got a nice shawl collar here, you can see. And this isn't really like a thick sweater, but it's also not like a t-shirt. It's somewhere kind of in between. Anyhow, I got this at the Goodwill bins just a week ago, just, about $1, $2 buy cost. It sold on an offer for $14.20, and good to see this thing moved. I was very worried that this was going to be something that sat in the store for a while, and for it to sell in just a week is definitely good. Sold this Arctics boys 5T snow pants. These sold in just a few days for $13. Got these at the bin, so probably a $1 to $2 buy cost. These Arctics snow pants and snow bibs can sell well, especially with the adults, and this time of year is a good time to pick them up if you can get them cheap enough. Sold these Peter Millar 5-pocket signature sateen pants. Nice chino pants here. And I'm pretty happy with this sale. This sold for $28, which is a little bit lower than what I usually get for these. And this was a $4.99 buy cost. The size on this thing is really horrendous. It is a 44 by 29. Definitely a unique size. Not a lot of people out there are wearing that. So this did take about 2 months to sell, and pretty happy that I was finally able to move this one. Sold this Tweeds women's shirt dress. This is a nice item here. It's 100% linen. This sold for $20. I can't remember if I got this at the bins or I got it at the retail store. At the retail store, it would have been $5.99. Overall, I would say that this took longer than I expected. This took about 6 months to sell. I had it at 28 and took an offer. I would have thought something like this sold during the summer, but 100% linen, good item. Someone made out well on this one. Sold these 7 jeans for a whopping $9. Now this is part of my December fire sale where I'm trying to move some inventory, really stale inventory end of year. I've got a lot of stuff marked down 50, 70%. This item here was a bins pickup, so not much money in it, like probably $2 to $3, and it took a while. It took 6 months to sell. Sold these Lucky brand jeans for $8. Now, this was an item I really want out the door, so this has been in my store for about a year, maybe more. Got this at the bin, so just about a $2 buy cost, something like that. This was an item I was thinking I might just donate towards the end of the year if it didn't sell. And good to see this thing finally out. Sold this Brooks Brothers men's white pinpoint Oxford. This sold for $27 on an offer, had it listed at $30, and this took about 3 months to sell. Sold this vintage white, I'm not even sure how to pronounce that. This is some sort of beach in Hawaii. This is made in USA, definitely old. It's from the 80s. Got this from someone I know for free. It sold for $15. It took about 3 months to sell. Good shirt, but it didn't have like a name brand tag. I think that kind of hurt it. I'm not super familiar with vintage t-shirts, but overall, all profit on this one. Sold this Brooks Brothers white pinpoint Oxford. This sold very quickly, just about 2 days, if that. Sold full asking price, $30, $5 buy cost. This is what I like to see right here. Not much of a jean seller, but sold these Ariat jeans. Picked these up about 2 months ago. These sold on an offer for 36. I had them in the low 40s, accepted that $36 offer. And jeans in my area, a $6.99 buy cost. This is the Ariat, I believe it's the M2 boot cut, and it's a decent enough inseam. It's like a 32 or 33 inseam. So overall, 2 months, not bad. Sold this men's white pinpoint Oxford. This sold in about 4 months, and it's got a little bit of damage that hurt the price. It only sold for 23, a $5 buy cost, and normally these sell high 20s, $30. Good brand here, Faraday. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of it. These are men's just chino pants. They sold for $35 on an offer. I think I had them listed at 40, a $5 buy cost, and they took about 3 months to sell. Faraday, good one for lots of their stuff. Although I do have a few shirts, long sleeve shirts, I've not been able to sell just yet. Sold this J. Jill. This is the perfect shirt. It sold on an offer for $19. I had it listed at $21. Good shirt here. This was a bins pickup. Very lightweight, so probably just like $1.50. And it did take a while to sell. It took somewhere between 5 to 6 months to sell. Sold these J. Crew men's corduroy pants. These took a while to sell. They took about 5 months. They sold for $17. This was a bins pickup, so probably about a $2 to $3 buy cost. Not something I would pick up again. This model here, it's the 484. Nothing special, but there's just too much saturation with a product like this. Nice flip here, a Brooks Brothers Houndstooth sport coat blazer. This sold full asking price, $55, $5.99 buy cost, and it took not long to sell. It took about 2 weeks maybe to sell, 3 at the most. Sold this Brooks Brothers women's blouse dress shirt for $13. This was a $5 buy cost. Now, the reason that I decided to list this so low, as you can see right down here, there is a pen stain, and I tried getting that out a couple different ways. Just couldn't get it. Eventually, I just decided I needed to just list this thing. The good thing is this sold very quickly. It sold under a day. Someone, I listed it for 15. They sent an offer for 13. So glad to see this thing move. Sold these Liverpool women's trousers dress pants for $18. This was a bins pickup, so probably about a $2 buy cost. And they sold very quick. They sold in less than a week. Sold this Nautica boys blazer for $14. Got this at Goodwill for $5.99. Now, this is actually my second time selling it. Originally, I sold this to a woman and didn't know it was a boy's blazer, thought it was actually a woman's. She, of course, complained, and rightfully so in her defense, but I did have to refund the shipping or pay the shipping both ways. So that was probably like $14, $15. So overall on this one, I'm probably have lost $5 to $7 on this transaction, but glad to see this thing has finally moved. Sold this Nike full zip women's jacket. This is a 2XL. It sold for $21. It was a $6.99 buy cost at Goodwill. And this sold quick. This sold in a couple days. I did price this pretty low just because when I bought it, I was thinking, I think originally I thought it was a men's. Women's stuff for Nike just doesn't sell as quickly for me and for as much. So I decided to just move this thing and just take the profit where I can get it. Overall, a quick one, never hurts. Sold this Guinness a Day vintage sign here. Now, this is a personal item, and this sold for $55. I've had this since college. It's just been sitting in my closet. The reason this is packaged is the first time I actually sold this on another What Sold video or showed it, the person never paid, so I went ahead and packaged it. So this was obviously a good sale, $55. It did take a while to sell, but it took about a year to sell. I had it up at like $70 or $80, just never could sell it at that price. Anyhow, kind of sad to see this one finally go. Sold these BKE jeans for $28. This was a $6.99 buy cost at Goodwill, and these took a while to sell. They took about 7 to 8 months, I want to say, to sell. This is the Tyler model, so it's a pretty good one. It's not like slim or anything. It's a bootcut model. So good to see these things sell. I'll be kind of on the fence about buying them at my Goodwill since jeans are $6.99. Probably would pick this BKE up at the bins, but at Goodwill retail, I probably will be skipping on these in 2026. Sold this Vineyard Vines men's navy blue blazer with the gold buttons. Nice item here. This took about 2 months to sell. Had it listed at $60. Someone sent me like a message or two about alterations, things like that. Eventually, they ended up sending me an offer for $45, and I accepted. Hopefully, the person doesn't get finicky about weird stuff. But this was a $5.99 a buy cost at Goodwill. I look at a lot of blazers. I don't find many Vineyard Vines. Sold this Chaps Ralph Lauren vintage blazer. This sold for $36. It was a $5.99 buy cost, and this sold pretty quick. This sold in just a couple weeks. A good under the radar item, I think, here. Keywords use like academia. It's got a nice tweed fabric to it, and you can see there the vintage Chaps Ralph Lauren logo. So good item to be on the lookout for, like mid-30s on something like that. Sold this Brooks Brothers quarter zip. This is a size XL. This sold for $20, and this took about 5 to 6 months to sell. I can't remember how much I paid for it. It was either $5 at the Goodwill retail or possibly $2 to $3 at the bins. Anyhow, decent item here. Probably is something that I won't pick up again at the retail store. Sold this Ralph Lauren men's blue, yellow, white striped button-down shirt. This took about 2 months to sell. It sold for $19. It was a $5 buy cost at Goodwill. Really got this one based on the style. There's quite a bit of Ralph Lauren out there. Not sure I would pick this up at the Goodwill retail. Again, probably would pick this one up at the bins. Sold these Callaway men's green golf pants for $14. This was a bins pickup, so probably just about $1 or $2 a buy cost. They took a while to sell. They took about 9 to 10 months to sell. Not something I think I would buy again.